Okay, so let me start with the first one called what does the UPSC expect from the aspirants for civil services? This is the first one I would like to address. All of you are aware of this. What is that? What is the name of this? This is the UPSC. This is the house which is called a Dolpur house. Any young man or young woman who is supposed to be good, highly educated, they want to tread into this organization because this is the sacred temple which is molding the administrators who are going to shape the things to come in future. All the administrators like S.R. Sankaran, they gave what we are today by sacrificing their precious time, and those people are not expecting anything from others. They want to give back. Such great people are being selected in an organization called the UPSC Dolpur House. Any young person wants to tread and touch it. In 84, 85, 86, 3 years, I entered the house. I felt very, very happy. The experience what you are going to gain by entering into the UPSC hall is immense. To get that experience, you can tread in. With that, at least you can prepare for civil services. This is headed by a chairman, highly balanced and highly educated people. I would like to share with you what the chairman of the UPSC has said on who should be a civil servant. You can see here the qualities of a civil servant. You have to check yourself whether we got these qualities or not to enter into the civil services. What he said is very, very interesting. You can see here, firstly, an officer must be a gentleman. Who is a gentleman? He defined. He should possess good character qualities. He has used the word called character here. You should have courage of conviction. Courage of conviction means what? You must stand by what you say, and you are not going to go by the wind which is coming out. A solid rock, like Gibraltar, you are going to stand by your use. That is called courage of conviction. Intellectual and moral capabilities. Intellectual means what? You are going to have the knowledge base, courage, and you must have the moral capabilities, ethical aspects, standing for the right. When anybody is doing wrong thing, you are in a position to say that you are doing the wrong thing, man. So that is called the courage, ethical courage. So intellectual and moral capabilities, leadership qualities, and capable of taking the right decisions at the right time. So this is what he says, which comes under the character component. He also said another important aspect, you should have in-depth professional knowledge, self-thinking, good communication skills, analytical in his thinking, flexible and not rigid, must be able to inspire, motivate his colleagues and his subordinates. So he must have effective communication skills, good knowledge base, and he should have the professional knowledge. There should be balance of judgment in decision making. Ultimately, it boils down that you must be in a position to take the decisions. These are the qualities which are required to become a good public servant. Whether you come for group 1, Group 2, or maybe the civil services, this applies equally for all the people. Even if you don't go for the civil services, what he advocates here is applicable for each and every individual. The chairman says here two qualities. What are these two qualities? Leadership. The leadership, that is what matters most in governance or corporate, government or corporate. What he advocates is this: the leadership depends on two qualities. One is called the competence, the other is called the character. What is competence? Competence is your knowledge, your skill, and your attitude, whereas the character talks about your integrity, your maturity, and your abundance mentality. So these are the things which are required for civil services. Civil services will not come just like that unless you are going to mold yourself into these two important qualities. Acquire these two qualities. One is called the competence, the other is called the character. Okay, so the competence and character are tested by the UPSC through various stages: the preliminary examination and the main examination and the personality test. All the three are very important. After that, when you go for the training, there also you are being tested. You are being watched up to when you are a trainee by some institutes. After that, the entire society is going to watch you. That's the reason a civil servant is always under surveillance, and they are being judged by their competence and character, and hence you have to acquire these two in order to emerge as the beautiful civil servant like S.R. Sankaran. Okay, so friends, competence building is being tested by the UPSC in the preliminary examination and the main examination also. Okay, so you can see the character development in CSAT, mains papers, interview, that's called the personality test. And your competence is being tested in the preliminary examination even. And if you can see the syllabus is all regarding the competence testing in paper number 1. In paper number 2, you can find comprehension, interpersonal relations, communication skills, then decision making, problem solving, then English language comprehension. All things come under character building. Here you find logical reasoning, analytical ability, basic numeracy, data interpretation, they come under the competence. So what is important is called your knowledge base is important and your character is important. If you can bring them together, you become the excellent public servant. You can see here in the paper number 2, comprehension, decision making, as I told you, they are relating to the character. And you can see the main examination. In the main examination, you got the papers. Essay paper. Essay paper, today you can find all philosophical essays. What are these philosophical essays? They are the opinion-based essays where you are going to give your character, your ethical sense. So the entire paper today on English is the game changer. It depends on your character. And paper number 1, 2, 3, they're all competence tested paper. Paper number 4 called ethics, it again comes to the character building, and the personality test, that is also the character building. As far as the optional subject is concerned, it depends on your competence, it depends on your character both. So if we can take the entire syllabus and the process of selection, all depends on your competence. Competence is acquired by studying knowledge, gaining the knowledge, and converting the knowledge into the skills. And you must apply a good attitude. Then you become a very competent person. But competence alone, as I told you, is not enough. It should be supported by the character, sterling character. That is very, very crucial. So this is what is required for civil services. So, as I already told you, these are all questions being asked in the civil services. For example, patriarchy is the least noted but most significant structure of social inequality. This is the essay was given in 2020. It talks about what? It talks about your understanding of the society and at the same time your approach to bring equality in the society. The concern of establishing equality in the society comes out of character. And understanding society in its total perspective comes by your competence. You take Dr. Ambedkar, Mahatma Jyotiba Phule. These two persons are highly competent, highly character-oriented. That's why they became great leaders. So, in order to emerge as a great leader, friends, remember, your knowledge is very important, and at the same time, your character is very, very important. These two are being tested in the UPSC. You can see one more question here. Forests are the best case studies for economic excellence. It can be written basing on the information you gather on the importance of the forest. The time to repair the roof is when the sun is shining. Such an essay can be written once you are convinced about the character. Without character, you cannot write a convincing answer. Smile is the chosen vehicle for all ambiguities. To write an answer for this, you need to have a broader understanding of the human nature that comes by competence, that comes by character. So that's the reason every question you can see in the UPSC depends on character and competence. Okay, so you can take any paper. All papers, they are character oriented or competence related. So these are all different components which come under the papers, and these are all character oriented things. Okay, so the interview, what people call it the personality test, is nothing but your character. Anyway, these are all different components coming under the personality test. Finally, what I would like to say before we proceed further, the UPSC revamped the system of the civil services from 2011 onwards and focused on selecting candidates who possess the competence and character. Earlier, most of the people who got subject, they used to get good marks and they used to go for civil services. But in the revamped the system, you can see the candidates who are being selected by the UPSC. UPSC cares for your competence and character. So now how to rise up to the expectations of the UPSC? Now what I advocated is that you need to develop these two, competence, character, but how to get those things, how to develop those things, this is our concern. I'm going to bring to you three important personalities who have contributed for the elevation of the human being to higher levels. An ordinary person can become extraordinary by understanding three important areas, and I'm going to introduce to you three personalities. Okay, so I'm going to introduce to you Mr. Howard Gardner. Howard Gardner was a great educationist, professor in Harvard University. He got 29 PhDs and wrote 29 books. And what he advocated is this. He said, you need to develop multiple intelligences. The present educational system talks about all the two. They talks about what? The word smart. You get what? You get verbal and linguistic intelligence and logical and mathematical intelligence. These two are called as IQ. These two are called IQ, and these two are being assessed as the hallmarks of any candidate. You go for examination, even preliminary examination, they test these two in the objective way, and this is not the adequacy of good education. You need to develop 6 more he has given intelligences. What are they? Here you can see you have to develop the people smart. You have to understand people, interpersonal relations. You have to understand your body smart. That means the body also teaches you a lot. You learn a lot of things by your body. You can take the artists, you take the sports people or the dancers. All these people, they develop their intelligence by dancing. So body is also equally important. Music, you can learn a lot of things by understanding the musical aspect of the knowledge. Most of the people never sing a song. But if you can learn music, you can remember a lot of items in your brain itself. Then picture smart, understanding the aesthetic aspect. Aesthetic sense is also very, very important to gain more knowledge. And self-smart, understanding yourself. It's called interpersonal intelligence. And finally, the nature. Nature teaches a lot. Like that, if you can develop multiple intelligences, friends, then you become an elevated person. If you learn 2 skills, your level will be very little. If you learn 9 skills, your level will be very, very high. This is what Howard Gardner had advocated in 83, 86 in between, and lot of the universities, they took notice of what Howard Gardner says, and the educational system in other countries has been changed basing on the observations made by Howard Gardner. And this is what you have to learn. This is what we are going to teach in the SR Synchronized Academy. Okay, so this is what we are going to give stress, apart from teaching you the subject. The second aspect which I am going to share here is called EQ. What is this? There is a beautiful magazine called Time, international magazine. In 1995, this magazine published an article. This article wrote this: it is not your IQ, it is not even a number, but emotional intelligence may be the best predictor of success in life, redefining what it means to be smart. If you want to emerge as a good human being, if you want to emerge as a good bureaucrat, if you want to emerge as a good family member, what you have to understand is your energy systems. You should not be carried away by your emotions. You must go by your emotional intelligence. Means you have to control them. How to control them? This is what is given by Daniel Goleman. He brought this into a picture, and he has told us, if you want to get success, success depends on 50% only on your subject. But 85% of your success depends on how you are going to control your emotions and interact with others and get your things done. So this is the book which changed the entire corporate world, and now the UPSC has recognized the importance of emotional intelligence and brought this as a part of the paper called ethics. Okay, so this is very, very important, and we are going to share what exactly is emotional intelligence and how it is useful to you in SR Synchronized Academy. Okay, so emotional intelligence talks about the most important aspect called self-awareness, understanding yourself, self-regulation, how you can control yourself, self-motivation, how to come out of the bad situations, how to understand others, and how to get things done. All the 5 we are going to teach. The third aspect, okay, before I go further, what Daniel Goleman finally says is this: the single most important factor is not IQ, advanced degrees, or technical expertise, but emotional intelligence. What? Self-awareness, self-confidence, self-control, commitment and integrity, the ability to communicate and influence, to initiate and accept change. These competencies are at a premium in today's job market. The higher up the ladder you go, the more vital these skills become, often influencing whether hired or fired, passed over, or promoted. This is what is given by Daniel Goleman, and this is very, very crucial for success in your life. Okay, this is what we are going to share in the course of our lectures. But most importantly, every human being got certain needs. You also come here from all the way from your districts here to study and get into a job. Everybody got the need. And this is being studied by a great personality called Abraham Maslow. Abraham Maslow studied the human being and brought a structure of the human needs. What are the human needs? We got the physiological needs like the roti, kapda or makan. After getting these things, you go for the second hierarchy of needs, that is called safety and security needs. Once you get your safety and security, then you go for what? Love and belonging. Once you get love and belonging from your near and dear, you want to have self-esteem. You want to be respected by other people. That is not enough. The final need for a human being is self-actualization. He wants to do what he wants to do. He wants to do what he wants to do. That is what is known as self-actualization. But Abraham Maslow, at the fag end of his career, he realized there is something which is very, very vital. What is that? You are going to live for yourself, it is fine. But if you can live for others, that is the great life. What he said is called self-transcendence. That means you are going beyond yourself, thinking about others. The posterity, that's very, very important. You take Gautama Buddha, you take Ashoka, you take Mahatma Gandhi, Abdul Kalam, Mahatma Jyotiba Phule, Ambedkar. If you take such people, these people lived not only for themselves, most of the people lived for others. That is called self-transcendence. This is a very, very vital component. And for a civil servant, this is very crucial. That's the reason UPSC revamped the entire syllabus and brought syllabus in such a way that you are going to develop the three important aspects. That's called wholeness of the education, professional approach to the jobs, and at the same time, you think about the society. These are the three important areas the UPSC has thought about. Thus, the UPSC revamped the syllabus of the civil services, picking up candidates with multiple intelligences, giving importance to EQ along with IQ, and preferring candidates who can make a difference in the lives of others. So, three important areas. If you have these three, you are the perfect example before the UPSC, and the board will select you for your multiple intelligences, for your emotional approach, emotional competence, and finally, they want to see a person who can make a difference in the lives of other people. If you develop this thing, then you are the perfect example. And in the name of S.R. Sankaran, we are going to inculcate these qualities among the participants who join this institute. So, according to the aspirants for the civil services should mold themselves to rise up to the expectations of the UPSC. And this is what we would like to give here. And that's what we are going to make in the future also. Now, I am moving to the second component. The second component is, what do you gain by entering into the civil services? What do the civil services give to you? What is that you are going to gain by undergoing such a strenuous process of the selection? Friends, I would like to share here a great personality a great personality who impacted my life, whom I treat as my guru. Every morning, when I just get my consciousness, I pay my tribute every day to my gurus. There are so many gurus, and one of my prominent guru is this personality. I would like to know, don't tell the name, are you aware of the name of this person? Any one of you here? Who knows the name of this person? His literature is available freely in the market. He wrote excellent books. At least 3 books you can read, and the 3 books are going to change your life. If you want a friend, philosopher, and guide for your life, any person coming from villages, they feel that nobody is guiding you. I also came from a village. My parents were illiterates. My near and dear are also illiterate people. And those people, my total village, 90% of the people are fishermen. They also go for their own profession. Nobody was an educated guy. For my farming people also, nobody was educated. In such a remote village I was born. But I fortunately got a guru in the name of this personality called Dale Carnegie. His name is Dale Carnegie, and he wrote 3 books. He wrote many, of course, but 3 are very, very prominent books. Number 1 is called How to Win Friends and Influence People. If you read this book, you will come to know the human nature, how you can interact with others. The high networking with all the people will come by rereading this gentleman and this book called How to Win Friends. Crores of books were published. And they got benefited by reading these books. The book which I highly advocate is the book called How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. Please write down. It's not one-way lecture to see that I am going to give, but write something down, go back and reread these things. You will be benefited by these books. How to Stop Worrying and Start Living changed my life, especially chapter 29 in that book has asked me to think about my life. And that changed. I'm going to share that chapter 29 very shortly. The 3rd book, which is very, very useful, is Public Speaking and Influencing People in Business. It is about communication skills. How you can interact with others is being taught by the book called Public Speaking. The first book talks about how to interact with others and how to make other people as your friends. But the second one is very, very crucial. It talks about yourself. How you have to overcome the challenges and emerge as a winner will come by the book called How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. In that book, he has given a couple of questions. A couple of questions are very much important for every girl and boy who is at the prime level of their lives. Who are standing in the crossroads, they must ask these 2 questions to themselves, and if they can get the answers, then they can emerge as the greatest people on the earth. Fortunately, I got the couple of questions very, very early stage. I implemented them in my life, and I got the results. I'm going to share what are they. The first question, he said, 2 major decisions of your life. So this is the title of the chapter 29 in that book called How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. What is the first question? He said, how are you going to make a living? Every young man or woman has to ask this question. How are you going to make a living? How am I going to make a living is a very, very important question. You cannot be dependent on your parents anymore. You have to stand on your legs and earn your livelihood. But he has not said livelihood, he said living. What is this word called living? You can see here a great personality from India, Gautama Buddha. In his Ashtangik Marga, he said, Samyak Jivanam. Jivanam means what you have to live. How to live? Living as a thief or a smuggler or a person who is looting others, is that the right way? No, that is not the right way. The right way is earn your bread with moral means and at the same time share that bread with others. Once you earn this ethical aspect, then only you got that inclination to share this with others. This is what is known as right living. The right living is very, very crucial, friends. I would like to share here three types of people in the world. What are the three types of people? I say poor people, middle class people, rich people. I'm not talking about the general sense in the society. I'm talking about the attitude of the people. You may be a very rich person, but your attitude is very, very poor. Then you are useless. That's why there are three types of people called poor attitude, middle class attitude, and rich attitude I'm talking about. You see here, a poor person, a poor attitude person always thinks about survival. How can I live tomorrow or today? A middle class mental person always thinks about comfort. I want every comfort should be there. I want all stuff. I want bungalows. I want big bank balances. I want every possible commodity to give me comfort. They always live in comforts. But the rich-minded people, they want freedom. Freedom is the sweetest thing for any person. Are you living on your own, or are you living on the command and control of anybody else? Most of the people are slaves. They don't want to take independent opinion. Independently, they want to live. They want to live by others' command. Others' command. Such people are slaves. But as a human being, you must live on your own terms. If you want to live on your own terms, what is important called freedom is very, very important. That's the reason in the first revolution, the first thing is called liberty. Liberty is very, very crucial for any person. Okay, so the poor-minded person always thinks about survival. The middle-class minded person thinks about comforts. Where the rich-minded person always thinks about freedom. What do you want? Think about that. Again, the poor-minded people, they talk about other people like the movies, how the movies is faring, politicians, celebrities, they talk about negativity of those people, negativity of all those people. Whereas middle-class minded people think about things, okay, refrigerators, they want this, that, like that, they think about things. Where the rich-minded people think about what ideas, because ideas are going to enrich you. An idea well acted is going to make you a rich man. An idea acted upon is a fortune. And if you want to become very rich, generate one idea, live by that idea, you become rich. You can see so many examples. Poor-minded people say, what happened? They're history readers. They read history and they comment. They don't know the right history, the wrong history, given by somebody else. They go by that. Where the middle-class-minded people watch things happen. They want to see what is happening. Whereas the rich-minded people, they make things happen. That means they are going to become history makers, not mere history readers. You want to become an history reader or history maker, you have to decide by yourself. Finally, poor-minded people think about short terms. They think about what is going to happen tomorrow, so he is concerned about today, tomorrow. Whereas middle-class minded people talk about 3 years, like that. Whereas the rich-minded people, they talk about the long term. Long term. That means after 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, where should I live? That is very, very important. That comes by what? That comes by having long-term perspective. Okay, so like that you can see people with the three categories, and who is the most important person? Whom should we follow? The person with what? The person with rich-mindedness. Rich-minded people, they have three qualities. Number one, they got the patience to just undergo the entire process. They wait for the right moment to come and they work for that right moment for their fortune. They delay their gratification. They don't want to say spend their energies then and there itself. They want to delay the gratification, means the control themselves. And they got the value freedom over comfort. They don't want the comfort. They can get the comfort, but they give importance to freedom. Once you give freedom, importance to freedom, you get the comfort automatically. But you go after comfort, you don't get the freedom. That's the reason, friends. Remember, as a person, you must have the patience, you must have the delay in gratification, and you must think always freedom over comfort. How can you get all these things? How can you value freedom over comfort? It is by entering into higher employment or services. It is by entering into higher services and higher employment. I am now going to show you a quotation given by a great personality, Dr. Ambedkar. He said, higher education and higher employment is the only way for the regeneration of scheduled castes. He said the scheduled castes, but it applies to each and every person. Means what? If you want to get into higher positions, what you need is called higher education and higher employment. These two components are very, very important. Then what is higher education and higher employment? So higher employment are you come from civil services, either central or the state governments. I tested as a bureaucrat both in the central government and the state government that you can get your freedom once you enter into the higher posts, not at the lower posts. That's the reason every young person, either boy or girl, think about how can I get freedom? How can I live on my own terms, not on the control and command by somebody else? If you want to lead your life on your own terms, you must enter into the civil services. That is one of the ways where you can fulfill your life's ambitions. Friends, remember civil services, you know, all India services, Group A services, Group B services, they may be Indian administrative services, IAS, IFS, IPS, or maybe IRS, IRSCE, I have the finance and this called Indian PT accounts and finance services, Indian defense account services, audit and account services. There are many, many types of services are available to you. Whichever service you want to, you can enter into in the civil services. IAS, that means civil services are not meant only for IAS. There are many number of services which are equally as important as IAS. If you enter into any of the service, your life will be with freedom. You can lead your life with freedom. Okay, so I'm going to show you some of my friends who are there in the services. It's myself here. You can see our now the foreign minister, you can see here Mr. Sanjay, my friend, my student, there Mr. Prasad, and you can see there my friend Mr. Thirumal Kumar, and you can also see my people, these are all my students, most of them are my students. Is Mr. Paulson, my student there now in Uttar Pradesh, and you know Kejriwal, of course, is from IRS, and you know Ravichandran Gokulan, so he is from Kerala, he's our student. And you can see these people, So you can at a very young age enter into higher portals of your power. Okay, so you got the advantage of interacting with higher ups like the prime minister. You can see at the beginning itself, you can interact with the prime minister, and you can see when you join at the lower level, you can go to cabinet secretary at the center, chief secretary at the state. Like that, you got elevations every time. So, friends, remember, you get the prestigious occupation. It is paid perquisites, and your promotions are guaranteed, job security, high social status, future career opportunities. There are many advantages by entering into the civil services. You can get service even after retirement as advisors, or maybe the people who got as consultants also. Visual symbols of power. When you enter into the civil services, power comes to you. If you use the power correctly, then people will respect you a lot. Power adds beauty. Power confers beauty. That means an ordinary person, once he's given 3 letters called IAS, he becomes so beautiful, yes or no? Ordinary guys, once they add, they will be looked down as the angels. Okay, so that's the reason power adds beauty to you. And you are going to lead high quality of physical life by entering into the higher portals of these services. Okay, so this is what you are going to gain by entering into the civil services. But more importantly, I am going to ask a question. The question is this: you would like to have great family for yourself, aren't you? Everybody wants a great family, yes or no? Yes or no? How can you have a great family for yourself? How can we say that this is a great family? The family should be emulated by others. People should think, oh, that is the right family, great family. How can you say? How can you build such a family? It is not watching somebody leading a great family, but you must lead by yourself a great family. How can you do that? Now tell me one couple in the entire world, who can be called the great family. So crores and crores of families are there, were there, are there, will be there. But tell me one great couple according to you. Then you must give the reasons why they are so great. Don't give the family's name, but why they are great. I am expecting very ordinary people becoming extraordinary by their deeds. The people who faced hell of the problems, but in spite of that, they emerge as great people. Such people can be called as great people, and I want such great examples. Any example from your side? Yes? Pardon? Excellent. So, I am very happy you mentioned the name of Savitribai Phule and Jyotibai Phule. So, friends, remember, my Guru Dale Carnegie has given a question. The second major decision of your life is called, whom are you going to select to be the father or mother of your children? That's called, how are you going to develop a great family? Great family. So, as our friend said here, whom are you going to select to be the father or mother of your children means what? It's not mere a couple. It's not mere a wife, not mere a spouse. Who are going to build a generation. That's why whom are you going to select to be the father or mother of your children means it is not mere the parenting, but they are going to act as the role models as parents. Okay? So the best couple in the world, as our friend said here, is Jyotibai Phule and Savitribai Phule. Why are they great? Why are they great? What are the qualities we have to learn from them? Which qualities will make you the great couple in the world? Friends, remember, the first quality to make a great couple is intellectual compatibility. What is this intellectual compatibility? Intellectual compatibility means you need to have great understanding of the human nature and the common sense. It is not that I got PhD, you got PhD. By merely having PhD doesn't mean that you're an educated person. You're an intellectual person. PhDs you can purchase in the market also. That's not a big deal. What is important is called common sense to respect, understand other people. That is called intellectual compatibility is very, very crucial. Number 2 is called emotional compatibility. What is this emotional compatibility? Understanding people, not carried away by your emotions, and you are going to control your emotions and see that greater good is being done by controlling your emotions. So, understanding the other person, that side, family side, father side, mother side, understanding people, not merely carried away by the emotions, that is called intellectual compatibility. Number 3 is called value compatibility. You have to live and lead by value system. And these values are very, very crucial. And if you can see the life of Mahatma Jyotiba Phule, Savitribai Phule was illiterate by the time he married her. At the time she was only 9 years old. But she became friend, philosopher and guide and became the first women teacher of this country. Highly educated lady. That is called intellectual compatibility. While Savitribai was going to the college, school to teach the children, the higher strata of the society used to throw mud, cow dung stones, and she used to carry one more sari, spare sari, and she used to change the first sari and go in the second sari to the class and teach the children. Emotionally, she is not surcharged. She knew her goal and achieved her goal. And finally, value compatibility means while Mahatma Jyotiba Phule was dead in 1890, she led the entire movement. Satya Samaj, she became the president and did wonderful work. That is the greatness of this couple. That's why I call this great couple. And these three qualities are very, very important. Very important. Friends, remember, these people stood for certain values and they are not mere social reformers, but great examples to emulate as great couple, and that is very, very important. And one more couple I'm giving here. This is by Karl Marx and Jenny van Westphalen, his wife. A great example and the greatest couple in the world. Now you may ask, sir, how is it related to civil services? I am coming to that. You can see here how civil services would enable you to build a great family. You know the couple, who are they? Srushti, Deshmukh, now Gowda, earlier Deshmukh. Okay, Nagarjuna Gowda. They are IAS officers and she is an exemplary lady. Not merely by getting 5th rank, but as a bureaucrat also she has been doing wonderful work. And this is an ideal couple. Ideal couple, you might have heard many lectures by both of them together. How was it possible? How a man like Nagarjuna Gowda from Karnataka was able to marry a girl from Bhopal? Because he became an IAS officer. Once you become an IAS officer, a civil servant, you get the opportunity of getting a spouse from the higher strata of the society. That's very, very important. Number 2, wide choice even from the highest of your community. Suppose if you're a poor person, rich people from your community are not going to look at you. But if you become a civil servant, there is an opportunity, license will come to you. 3, choice to select from other communities also. They also come forward. I have seen so many intercaste marriages once you get into the civil services. Finally, choice select from the other states. You got the choice to marry from other states also. The reason why I give this importance is, what is more important in your life? If you get IAS, you may be very happy for maybe some 35 years. But if you get a great wife or a great husband, you will be happy forever. Not only your life, your children will be great and the life will be great. Yes or no? That's the reason you must always think about two important areas. You must take from your guru and you must add something more and give it to the society. That's why I implemented these two in my life. I got a great job. I got a great wife in my life. But I never stopped there. I added one more dimension. I would like to share this dimension, very, very vital. So the third major decisions of your life. You have to take the third decision. What is that? How are you going to make a life for yourself? How are you going to make a life for yourself? What do we mean by this? You have to lead a life with purpose. How can you lead a life with purpose? I will come in three aspects. Okay, how are you going to make a life for yourself? Number one, you are laying purposeful foundation for yourself by civil services. How? I will tell you. Number two, you are making your parents feel proud. You are making your parents feel proud by entering into the civil services. Number three, you are making a difference in the lives of other people. In the society itself, you are going to make a big difference. The three will come by entering into the services, how I'm going to analyze here. How can you develop a great character for yourself? Friends, remember, this is a question which you have to ask yourself all the time. If who am I is what I have, and what I have is lost, then who am I? Understand this question? To understand the question, I will give an example. There is a movie called Attarintik Daredi. In that movie, there is a character called Brahmanandam. That man left India with 2 lakhs, went to Uganda. He got some mines. Which mines? Diamond mines. As a result, that fellow came back to India and he was throwing 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs into dustbin, maybe tub in the bathtubs. Throwing like that because this fellow is filthy rich. At the end of the movie, you might have seen the diamond mines were nationalized. Then who is he? Again, he becomes a manager, becomes almost assistant manager. You remember that entire thing? That means what? If you think I'm a crorepati, my father is a rich man, richness will not stay for a longer period. Once you lose your richness, then who are you? Who will look at you? You can see Mahatma Phule, Abdul Kalam, these people are not rich people, but these people are the character-oriented people. They develop the character. That's the reason today we are respecting them. That's the reason, always remember, friends, always ask this question to yourself. If who am I is what I have, and what I have is lost, then who am I? This question, the answer to this question is very, very vital to get a purpose into your life. I would like to share here the life story of Viktor Frankl. Viktor Frankl, you all remember, he was an Austrian. In 1943, something happened in Austria. That was Hitler overran Austria. The Jewish community was arrested. His parents were killed, wife was killed, he was taken to the concentration camp. In the concentration camp, people used to beat, the German soldiers used to beat them. During the night time, daytime they had to work very, very hard. That was the situation. One day, he was almost lying on the ground, thinking about what is this life. They are treating like animals, beating them, and no purpose. At that time, Viktor Frankl asked a question to himself. He said, am I the body? Why am I worrying about myself? Am I the body or beyond the body? Am I the body or beyond the body? If I am beyond the body, why should I worry when people are beating my body? So So arm behind the body. Next day, the German soldiers came, started beating. This man stand like a pillar. Nothing happened. Soldiers got shocked and they doubled their beating, but even then he stood like that. Second day they came, beat him a lot, but nothing happened. Third day they came and said, it is useless to beat this guy. So they left him. 45, he was released from the prison. He came out. The reporters asked, Mr. Frankel, we heard that the Germans used to beat you, but they stopped beating. What made you to withstand this type of onslaught? He said, I realized one thing, that is, there is meaning in the life of any person. There is meaning in the life of every person. I want to give this meaning, message to all the society. That's why I lived. And he wrote a beautiful book, Man's Search for Meaning. Man's Search for Meaning. He got with the logotherapy. A wonderful thing, friends. And he gave a one question. This question is very, very potential question. All of you can think about this. What is this question? As the struggle for existence is subsided, the question that remains is survival for what? We survive for what? Ever more people have means to live, but no meaning to live for. You see here, ever more people have means to live, but no meaning to live for. Today, because of the welfare nature of our governments, everybody is getting some food. But merely living, is it enough? Mere existence, is it enough? There should be some meaning in our life. Why are we living? What is that we are going to do with our life? Animals are living and they are leaving the world. And human beings are living and they are also leaving the world. What is the difference between animals and man and the human beings? The purpose, the meaning in the life is very, very important. That's why you ask the question. Ever more people have the means to live, but no meaning to live for. What is the meaning you want to live for? That comes by entering into the civil services. You take S.R. Sankaran, he gave a great legacy for all of us. That there is a meaning in becoming a civil servant. Friends, we all know about this great bodybuilder, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger, he became Mr. Universe, great bodybuilder. After that, he became a Hollywood actor, then became the California governor. When he was the California governor, this man went to just inaugurate a hotel, and the hotel management said, sir, you can come any moment, a suit will be given to you at any moment. After he retired from the governor, he went one day to the hotel, and those people said, sir, no room vacant. We can't give freely any room to you. No free lunch to you. And this man, without arguing with those people, came out and slept on outside the hotel. And he gave a great message. That message is exemplary message. Never ever think that you are great by living in some a position. But what are you actually? What is your purpose? That's more important. You must lead by your purpose. Great meaning. That's what he has given to us. Okay, so I'm going to give one more example here. This is by Alfred Nobel. Alfred Nobel was a rich man because he invented dynamite. So he was reading one day a newspaper and he was shocked to read the newspaper. Why? They reported his death. He was reading his death. What they said is, Dynamite King died. Dynamite King died. He was the merchant of the death. What? First sentence is very nice. What is the second one? Is the merchant of death means what? He is the carrier for deaths. Oh, is it the way how people are going to remember me after my death? No, that is not the way. I must be remembered in a right way. How can I reach out to the people? That was his concern. Then he sold away certain part of his estate, started with Nobel Prizes. Today, we feel proud to receive the Nobel Prizes, yes or no? That is the way how he reworked, re-engineered his life, course corrected his life, and today we are all remembering him because of his purpose. Friends, what is the purpose of my life is a concern for all of us, and that will come to you by entering into the civil services. I will come with some of the great examples here. The foundation course becomes the foundation of your life. All of you are going for the different organizations. Mussoorie, you go there, and the Simla, you go there, and you can go to Baroda, you can go to Muzra, that's called the different places in India, including Hyderabad, where you get wonderful, what we can say, character molding courses. They call foundation courses. You can see here Mussoorie, you can see the Simla, you can go to our Hyderabad, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel Academy. So these are different organizations where you get wonderful training. I got the advantage of getting my training in the courses. Okay, so different places you are going to get a wonderful training, and your character will be shaped there. How can you make your parents feel proud? The second aspect I would like to share here, you can see a slide here, Mr. Govind Jaiswal. You can see the caption, Kaise bana rickshaw wale ka beta ek IAS officer. You can see Narayan Jaiswal, father and son, Govind Jaiswal. It's a very interesting story. Very poor guy. He got a neighbor. One day he went to the neighbor's house. That neighbor roared, "How dare you come to my house? You are a rickshaw fellow's son." Then this boy asked, "Uncle, how can I become a great person? Tell me." "Become an IAS officer, you will become great," he said. Then he decided, "I want to become an IAS." And he studied. And after clearing off his degree, he came to his father, because a poor person. "Father, I want to become IAS." Father realized the potential of his son and said, "Yes, son, we got small bit of land." And he sold the land, got 40,000 rupees, put the 40,000 rupees in the hands of Govind Jaiswal. "Go, son, get your dream fulfilled." He went to Delhi, cleared his prelim mains, came the personality test interview, no money at all, and he wrote a letter. And his sister received the letter and said, at the time she was pregnant, said, "Govind, I have confidence in you. I saved 5,000 rupees for my delivery. Now I am sending the money to you. Purchase good dress, go to UPSC, get IAS." Okay, process is going on. 2 days prior to getting the results, one day, one policeman started chasing Narayan Jaiswal because he violated maybe some traffic rules. He ran away from the place, and the policeman chased him to a long distance. He came home and he sat and he felt very bad for the situation. After 2 days, results came. His son got selected as IAS officer. And the same policeman came with folded hands. Sir, please don't tell your son that I did this. If you say I'm going to lose my job." At that time, Narayan Jaiswal put his hand on his mustache and said, "Yes, my son made me so great." And you can see how this man became so great. The proudness you can see in the face of that person. And this is the boy. You can see how this man, very ordinary guy, became extraordinary by his look with the coat and everything. And you see the girl next to him. Who is she? IPS officer. He married an IPS officer. All it became so powerful, so became a reality, making his parents proud, and got a great family by entering into the civil services. Imagine going to Jaiswal didn't get IAS. Then how can he get his father to be proud of his son? How can he get an IPS officer as a wife? It's all feasible because he has the dream to see that he wants to make his parents feel proud. How can you make a difference in the lives of other people? The third question which I'm going to ask here. Okay, you can make a difference in the lives of other people. That's the purpose of the civil services. Most of the times we ask the people coming for the mock interviews, why are you coming for civil services? They say that power, prestige, money, vagera, vagera. All are bullshit, nothing. If you give such a reply, nobody will appreciate you. Why are you coming for civil services? You want to make the difference in the lives of other people, otherwise, no. How can we make a difference in the lives of people, friends? Here, S.R. Sankaran, is called IAS Gandhi. And he did wonderful work in Hyderabad. You go to any civil servant, they will tell you how great he is. And the greatness of this name, this institute is constituted here. Okay? So there are many, many people here. You can see. Who is this person? Christopher Fahmy, the man who built 100 kilometers road with his own initiative, though government has not given money. You can see here Sagayam, the man who created ripples, waves in Tamil Nadu as an IAS officer. There are so many officers who have been doing wonderful work in the lives of other people. So friends, remember, I would like to tell you here, this is a very, very powerful picture you have to remember here. One thing always remember, you got the low platform and the low purpose. If you have low platform means what? If you are born in a very small families and you have no purpose in the life, you live like any creature, and such a person comes under category number 1. Low purpose, no low platform, they do nothing to the society. But there are some people who got the low purpose but high platform. Some of the politicians, some of the IAS officers, they by fortune, by dint of their brought up, they may get into the civil services, but they do nothing for the society. No use with those people. Tell me how many IAS officers are exemplary. You give very few names, not all. The reason is all people are not motivated as the real public servants. Number 3, he is called low platform but high purpose. You want to change the entire world, but your platform is very little. No money, no network, nothing is there. How can you bring any change? But a person who got the high platform and high purpose, that man can do wonders. And the civil services will give you such a high platform to you. If you have high purpose, that will definitely couple and make you such a great personality. That's the reason civil services, people like us who come from the low backgrounds, civil services, the hope for all of us to become great. That's why people who are in the corporate world with the higher packages, they're coming back and entering into the civil services for the purpose. They want to do something. They want to make a difference in the lives of other people. That is possible because it provides you high platform at a very young age. So friends, remember, how are you going to make a life for yourself is a question which gives 3 more important areas. You are laying purposeful foundation for yourself by entering into civil services. You are making your parents feel proud by entering into the civil services. You are making a difference in the lives of other people by entering into the civil services. I did it. I got the same benefits. That's why I am telling with a lot of conviction that this can be possible by entering into the civil services. We discussed 2 aspects. One is, what is that UPSC expects from you? Number 2, what is that you can expect from the UPSC? But most importantly, how to enter into the scouted services? How to get into the coveted civil services? By mere wish, you cannot enter into the civil services. You need something. You need something. I would like to here share with you my mentor, Stephen R. Covey. Stephen R. Covey, he wrote an excellent book called The 7 Habits of the Highly Effective People. Any one of you heard the name of this great person? No? I met him in person twice. Once in Mumbai, the other in Hyderabad. Great person, a Himalayan person in personality development. If you want to realize your full potential, read his book. That is available freely. You can download, you can read it, you can be benefited. I have been conducting the 7 Habits programs freely for so many people. Wonderful, wonderful change will come in your life. Such a great man gave one recipe for success. You want to become great? Tell me, all of you want to become great, yes or no? Yes or no? If you want to become great, 3 things are required. What are they? He said, to get success in any field, 3 things are required. Number 1 is called the tool set, skill set, and mindset. What are these tool set, skill set, and mindset? You all remember what is this? This pole vault. To pole vault, what is important? You need to have a pole. With the help of the pole, you are going to go up and create some history, records. Earlier, people used to have bamboo or maybe an aluminum pole. But that will not give you the thrust to go up in the air. Later, what they observed is they changed their pole into a type of elastic, a plastic and elastic pipes. Thereby you can bend this and you can go up much higher than in other things. Now the records were able to create it because of the change in the tool itself. I think you all remember people used to go by type machines earlier. But you may not be knowing type machine today. But we all experts in type machine. I passed higher in type machine. You know, anybody can type around 40 words a minute. You will come for the higher in the typewriting. Shorthand I also passed. Okay, so type machine. Today you don't find type machines. What do you find only word processors, computers, and now you go for the smartphones. Lot of change. Earlier, any hero means bow and arrow. You know the heroes, Arjuna, Rama, all are great by bow and arrow. Now, can you say any hero is coming with bow and arrow? They go with the machine guns. Today, warfare has changed. Earlier, people used to go with the sticks and stones, but today you got by drones, isn't it? There's a lot of change as far as the tools are concerned. Unless you equip yourself with the tools, can you win the war? You cannot. That's why in the civil service also, like a war, you need to have certain tools. What are they? What tools are required? Number 1 is called, tools that I'm talking about, number 1 is called the knowledge. Knowledge, remember, knowledge, the information and facts gained through education, time and experience. But today, knowledge is very, very rare. What we get today is called facts and figures. You can find here data we are getting, or we are getting information. You go to any Google, you go to any computer, you get lots and lots of information. In fact, you got the information overload. You cannot digest. Many things are available. Can you read all those things today? No. You need to have knowledge. Knowledge is much higher than information, and you must gain wisdom. This is very crucial. Here in our institute, we want to give that knowledge which is very, very useful for the civil services, not the information overload. Okay, this is very important. You have to concentrate on how to get the real knowledge. That's number one tool. Number two is called optional subject. Optional subject, this is very, very crucial because for a pyramid of the IAS, you can see the base is the optional subject where the marks are 500 marks. If you get 300 out of 500, there is a guarantee that you will get any service. Any service. I will give you here, there are so many optional subjects available, and you can see here Nandini got first rank by Kannada literature by scoring 331 marks. Gopal Krishna here, that boy got 222 marks and got into third rank IAS. Okay, so I'm now going to show you here N. Lakshmi. She scored 362 in her optional subject, even though she got less marks, but she got into IAS basically because of the optional subject and the more marks there. Okay, the third is called standard material. Standard material means whichever material outside is available outside is not of no use. Go to Rajendra Nagar in Delhi, you find Aero books all over here, there, left, right, center. Here also there are so many institutes which are selling so much material, substandard most of the material. That's why you need to have the quality material. That is very, very important. That will be given in this institute. Okay, so we want to give the best material. Number four called information tools. Today, books are not enough. You need to go for more and more tools. We are going to tell you which tools are to be used to get the right information so that you can get the right knowledge. Number five called language. Language is very, very important, friends. Either it may be your mother tongue like Telugu, or maybe English, or maybe Hindi. Whichever language you want to write, you can write. I wrote all my papers in the civil services. 3 times I got selected. Twice as IPS officer, once as Group A officer. Okay, so I got into the civil services by writing in Telugu medium. I got it. So what you need is called correct understanding of the language, whether it is Telugu or maybe Hindi, English. You're all well versed because you're all graduates. I would like to ask a simple question to all of you. How can you add the beauty to any language? How can you add beauty to any language? How can you add beauty to language? Suppose if you can communicate effectively, people will be impressed. In the personality test, do you know people are getting 105, people are getting 210 this year. Least is 105, highest is 210, difference is 105 marks. With 999, you get IAS. With 959, you get nothing. That what happened? The cutoff this year is 960. Anybody gets 959, he whips, unless he belongs to some other category of reservation. Otherwise, in the open category, 959 means no service. With 999, you get IAS. Within a range of 40 marks, everything is over. Everything is over. So what is important is called language is very, very important for answer writing. Language is very important for communication and the personality test. And with the language, you can impress the other people. And you must get command over any language you speak. That's why I ask a simple question to all of you. In English language, always remember, any language will be so beautiful and melodious if you have more and more vowels. Vowels are the jewels of a language. Vowels are the jewels of a language. And I would like to ask you in English language, how many vowels are there? In Telugu, you know pretty well, Achulu, how many are there? People say 16 are there. Okay? 16 are there. We borrowed many from Sanskrit and other languages, but much more there, 16. But in English now, I would like to ask you, in the spoken English language, how many vowels are there? Anybody can dare give the information here? How many vowels are there in spoken English language? So 5. They are in written English. Very crucial. In the written answers, you must get good grammar, good spelling, as well as pronunciation. We got an institute here in Che Guevara, in the name of Che Guevara, we got a good English institute. Those people who join here, they will be sent to that institute where you get added advantage of very good English here itself. Number 6 is called friend circle. Friend circle, here we want to make you people as very good friends. At least 3 into 1 group. Group discussions are being encouraged. And why groups are very important? See, the team building is very important. Today, in isolation, you cannot learn anything. By sharing, you are growing. So we encourage you to share your knowledge with others. And that is the way how you are going to gain a lot of advantage. Circle of friends is very, very crucial. Why it is crucial? There is an exam called CLAT. I think all of you are Telugu guys, you can understand this. In CLAT examination, there are 3 people who studied together in the same room. And one guy, Aman Garg, got 159, Devansh Kaushik 157.5, third Anmol Gupta 157.5, all got Pradama, Dvitiya, Tritiya. 3 ranks got by these people. And they said very importantly, Mugurum Pachyamshalanu Panchukuntu Kalasa Sannadhamayamani. And they come, they sat together, share the syllabus, learned individually and share the knowledge, and collectively they got the highest amount of time. So with less time, they got more knowledge. This is very, very crucial to get into civil services. You may think CLAT is not equivalent to IAS, but I'm going to share with you the words of our third ranker here today. Who is third ranker? Uma Harati. What did he say in one of the interviews? He said, some of the group study with my friends helped me. Some of my friends decided to join me in my preparation, and we all studied together. What is the result? It turned out to be favorable for all of us, as 2 of my friends qualified in last few years, and I, along with 3 other friends, cracked the exam this year. UPSC ranker third holder Uma Harati says, because she studied civil service for 5 years. In her fifth attempt, she got the 3rd rank. Almost more than 6 years she is in the process. And all the 6 years, she studied with their friends, and that helped her to get into the services. So friends, institute will help you to bring a circle of friends of your like-mindedness. So like-minded people can come together, they can form into some groups, and that will be very, very useful to get into the civil services. 7, institute. Always think about what type of institute you are going to join. It's a commercial institute. Whether the institute got any values, you might have seen some of the institutes. They may be giving very good stuff, but what is the values they are carrying forward? Whether the directors who are heading the institutes, have they got any character? We have to see them. Here the institute is named in the name of the great personality, great bureaucrat, S.R. Sankaran, and this institute is a non-profit organization. The people are doing for service. Whatever money you are going to pay here is nothing almost before what the expenses are being borne by the institute. It is their concern to see that you are going to be benefited by the teachings of the people coming here, and you are going to inculcate not only the subject but the value system. That is more important for an institute. Okay, so institutes are places where you are going to gain not only knowledge but the value systems. Finally, mentor. Who is your mentor? That is very important. You might have seen for Dronacharya, all people, they want to go with him. Arjuna, he was very closer to, but Karna was unable to go into the fold because of reasons. And you might have heard about Ekalavya was unable to get into the fold of this person because he wanted to learn from Ekalavya. Mentor is very, very important. Mentor is very important. What is the role of a mentor? Mentor is going to see that your goals are being fulfilled. They are going to give the coaching. They are going to guide you, train you, motivate you, give knowledge, support you, and finally see that they are going to go to success. They are going to take you, to lead you. They are going to protect you like this. They are going to protect you all the way, and you are going to become so great. So friends, we have seen 8 important tools are very, very important. What are they? First thing is called the knowledge. What is second one? Option subject. Number 3, standard material. Number 4, information tools. Number 5, language. Number 6, friend circle. Number 7, institute. Number 8 is called the mentor. So you are going to gain all these tools. That means you get the tools. We are going to provide the tools here to make you comfortable for getting success. Apart from the tools, we need skill set. UPSC goes by the skills. UPSC said very clearly that we want these skills from the candidates. Okay, so they don't go by your face. They go by the skills what you are going to gain. You see here, earlier in the long jump, people are going to run like this and jump. But there is a person called Fosbury. This man started running, twisted his body on the back and jumped backwards, and he went very up. As a result, this man created a big history. This is the first slide of the Fosbury. So you can see here today in the Olympic, people are jumping like this. This has come because he developed a different skill. A different skill, as a result, became a record holder. So remember, the skills what the UPSC demands are these. You have to develop what? Mental alertness. This is called critical power of assimilation, clear and logical exposition of the ideas. Then balance of judgment is required in your expressions. Then variety and depth of interest. That means you have to develop different ideas and the crafts. Ability for social cohesion. That means you have to take care of the society, societal concern. Leadership qualities. Intellectual and moral integrity have to develop. Comprehensiveness. You must have a total picture before you express anything. Originality of thinking, not a parrot-like person. And finally, innovativeness. These are the qualities the UPSC is demanding from the candidates. If you cater to these qualities, the skills, the UPSC will be very, very, very comfortable. So friends, remember, skills are very much important while planning. What is planning? So you have to plan your career. You have to plan your circumstances. You have to plan your attempts. How many attempts should I go for that? Then planning of your time, planning of your approach, planning of your strategy. All are very, very important while going for. All comes by your skills. Okay, so you can learn a lot. I'm not giving the totality of these skills, but I'm mentioning just which skills are required for you to enter to the civil services. Okay, preparation starts with the reading of the books. Then how to read. Most of the people are not aware of how to read. What we must understand is reading is very, very crucial. But how to read is not being taught by many people, but we are going to teach you here. Reading what the text says. Reading what a text says is very, very simple. But you must understand, reading what a text does is different. And reading what a text means is entirely different. These differences are very, very crucial because you are going to write the exam called comprehension in CSAT. In the reading comprehension, you must understand lot of questions come on inferences. These inferences can be answered by reading what a text means, called reading between the lines. That's very crucial. Unless you understand why the book is written, how the book is written, and what is the message it conveys, you cannot get good message out of the book. So we are going to tell you how to read here in the institute. Number 2, thinking. So thinking is very important. It is not mere stuffing your brain with a lot of information, but you have to think whether this is useful or not. We encourage you to go for creative thinking here. Number 3, meaning. So friends, remember, don't stop here with whatever you are receiving. You have to go out and meet people and get some subject. We got so many bureaucrats here. We are going to assign you. You can interact with those people. They are going to share their ideas. We also invite people to come over here. They are going to share with you. Number 4 is called listening. Listen to the topics, their strategies. Okay, then you are going to gain lot of inputs. By listening, you are going to learn a lot of items. And while listening, what you have to do? You have to debate. It's not mere listening and leaving it. No, suppose if I give one point, you have to debate whether that's true or not. How is it useful? Debating is very important. Healthy debates are very, very important. Okay? Then you must go for what? You must go for drilling. Drilling means what? You have to revise. That revision is very, very crucial for getting the right subject. Number 7 called writing. See, I have been observing here how many people are writing. Very few are there writing, but some people just listen. That is not enough. We encourage to write as much as possible with a very good notes, because the notes is your personal property. You can take it as a personal possession, and when you grow up, you can show to your people, your friends, or maybe your children, this is how I used to write. These days, people are unable to write. They are going for only shorthand, SMS. And people are accustomed only for the smartphone writing. But people are forgetting about how to write with the hands. I think a time may come, people may forget about how to write anything with the hand. Okay, so this is very important. Writing, because there is a connection between our hand and the head. Psychosomatic, you see that the type of connection is there, so that is to be utilized. So writing we encourage a lot. Finally, learning. So you learn things here in the proper perspective. Then only the skills will be totally perfect. So we have seen skill set, seen tool set. We have seen the skill set. Now we are moving to the third set called the mindset. We are coming for the mindset. What is this mindset? You might have seen this. Roger Bannister in 1954 ran a mile in 4 minutes. Until then, people thought if you run a mile within 4 minutes, your heart will pump out the blood and you are going to die. But this man proved, yes, any man can run a mile within 4 minutes. Within 6 months, John Landy, he ran 1 mile in 4 minutes. Within 1 year, 250 people proved this can be done. Today, everybody is doing. The thing is, until then, their mind is conditioned. People think that the civil service are only for a few people, for the rich people, maybe some intelligent people. No. Anybody can enter into the civil services. Anybody can dance, ABCD. Like that, anybody can enter into the civil services, provided you have the mindset that I want to get into the civil services. Friends, I'm going to share 8 important components in the mindset. Number 1 is ever-learning attitude. Ever-learning attitude means what? I want to learn. For example, you come to the class. What is that I learned today? This is what is known, the Japanese says. The Japanese, pretty well. They got a philosophy called Kaizen, continuous never-ending improvement. The Japanese, they developed to such a great heights because of what? The Kaizen philosophy. Learning something new every time. Every time. For example, you came to this program. You are learning a lot of inputs. I asked you about Dale Carnegie. how he can change your life. I also shared some of my inputs to you. These are all new to you. They're all learning experiences. So, ever learning attitude is very, very important. That's why you must always go with the humility that today I'm going to learn great things. Today is a new day for every wise person. With that, if you come with an empty mind, with an open mind, then you are going to learn something. If you come with a full mind, stating that what this man can teach me, I know everything, you will learn nothing. That's why ever learning attitude is very crucial for getting into the services. Number 2, going an extra mile. Don't stop with whatever is being taught here. Learn something more. If you want to learn more, going the extra mile, you become a gem. You become a gem going extra mile by learning something new, and extending, not confining to the syllabus given to you. So, going extra mile, here you can see the quote given by Steve Jobs. He says, if you don't love something, you are not going to do the extra mile. Work the extra weekend, challenge the status quo as much. That means when you are burning the midnight oil, when you are learning something more, then you can get an edge over other people. Get the edge over other people by learning more, then you can become a gem of yourself. That will be very, very useful for your life. Number 3, called burning desire. What is this burning desire? Once you take a decision that I must become a civil servant, if you have the burning desire within you, nobody would stop you to get into the civil services. You know pretty well, here Socrates got a method. One young man went to Socrates and said, sir, I want to get success. Tell me the secret. Then he said, come to a river the next morning. He took the boy came there. He took him into the river, put him inside the water, put him for 2.5 minutes, then brought him outside. Then he asked, boy, when I put you in the water, what is that you want very badly? He said, sir, air. If you want success as badly as the air, you'll get the success. Means what? If you have this desire in you that you want to get into the civil services, nobody can stop you, friends. Nobody can stop you. But most of the people have just wishes. Wishes will not take you to the civil services. Okay, number 4, focus on the strengths. Nature is very, very kind enough. Everybody got a lot of strengths. Lot of strengths. Even if you are born in a village, you got a lot of strengths. I was born in a village. I realized my strength is discipline. My strength is steadfastly going with the goal. My strength is good writing. My strength is understanding. My strength is communication. I got a lot of strengths. I may be having minuses. So everybody, we must remember, know your strengths. And in the management jargon, we can say your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, but work on your strengths. Because everybody in the nature is bestowed with a lot of boons by the nature. But we don't realize our potential. If you realize the potential, IAS is nothing. It's nothing. The point here is, understand yourself. You are great, you are unique. Mother Nature is such a great person who gives a unique personality to every person. Okay. Number 5, confidence. This is a very, very vital component for civil services. All people are winners, but some people become become losers because they don't realize that the difference between a winner and the loser is only confidence. Okay, you might have seen wars. Big armies were defeated by small armies because of the confidence by themselves. We might have seen how Alexander used to win wars, only confidence. Okay, so confidence to jump into higher heights is very, very vital for entering into the civil services. Number 6, called discipline. As I told you, this is what is required for any activity. So, what is discipline? Self-discipline is the key to success. If you can have this type of self-discipline with you, who can stop you? Number 7 called perseverance. Perseverance means what? You are going to have persistence till you receive the goal. You see here, perseverance, continued effort to do or achieve something despite difficulties, failure, or opposition. So this is very crucial. Perseverance is very crucial to go to any heights. I would like to show you here a great lady here, Nupur Goyal. She got into IAS on her 6th attempt, got 6th rank, 11th rank in her 6th attempt. We got a student here, Sahitya. She got 24th rank, Pusapati Sahitya. She got 24th rank, got into IFS today. She was in USA, came back to India to prepare for civil services. She lost 5 attempts. In the 5th attempt, she went to the interview but was not selected. 6th attempt, she got into 24th rank. So friends, remember, if you have the perseverance, service is yours. Nobody can stop you. Though the number will be less, but the people who are preparing seriously is also less. Though 11 lakh people are just applying and 6 lakh people are writing for the preliminary examination, but what is the competition? The competition is always among 5,000 people only. The entire India, the competition is among the 5,000 people. If you are one among the 5,000, there is every fair chance to you to get in the civil service. Friends, last item, which I am going to share with you, is very, very crucial. This is the last item. Be unkind to be kind. This is what I would like to favorably say. This is a very, very important component for success. What do you mean by be unkind to be kind? You know pretty well the tallest animal is called the giraffe, 20 feet tall. How this giraffe gives birth to a child? You can see here, it gives birth by standing only. Why does it stand? Because in a jungle, it gives birth to a child on sitting. It may be difficult for it to get up. Number 2, it is very difficult to carry the child also. That's why it stands and gives birth to the child. After giving birth to the child, the behavior of the mama giraffe is very, very important. It goes back to the child, stretches the leg to a large extent and gives a big kick on the back of the child. You imagine here, the child is falling from the 10 feet high to the ground, whereas if a small kid falls from 1 feet tall cot, mother goes and takes the baby, puts on her bosom and gives so many lullabies. But here the child is falling from the 10 feet, and mother goes and gives a big kick on the back of that thing. Is it the act of hate or act of love? Is she hating the child? No. It is the act of love. How? Because in a jungle, if the child stays on the ground for a longer period, small predators, they come and eat the child. That's why in order to see that the child survives, the only way is to kick the child, see the child stands on its legs and takes the child to a safer place and fondles the child. This is the way how the mama giraffe takes care of the child. It is called be unkind to be kind. While it is kicking, it is unkind. Why it is unkind? To be kind afterwards. Our parents are unkind to be kind. They beat us sometimes, they scold us. Why? Are they hating us? No, it's out of love. You go to a doctor, he gives an injection. Is there any enmity between you and the doctor? No, he is unkind to be kind. Friends, remember, the 3 years of the time which you are going to spend in your life, be unkind to be kind. Just forget the world, friends. Forget the world for 3 years. The world will remember you for 35 to 40 years. If you want to stay with the world, with your smartphones, with your IPLs, with everything, nothing happens. Nothing happens. That's why the mindset is very important. What we have discussed here, ever learning attitude, going an extra mile, then burning desire, focusing on the strengths, then confidence, discipline, perseverance, be unkind, be kind. If you have these attitudes, I think you can get into any service, any activity. You can get success in any activity. So how can you get into the civil services? It's my mindset, skill set, tool set, what we have discussed. So friends, we discussed a lot during the presentation, but the issue is this. I'm going to share with you my mantra again. He says, Dale Carnegie says, our problem is not ignorance. Our problem is not ignorance, but inaction. We know a lot of things. Suppose if you listen to this presentation, you say that I know this, I know this, I know this. People know everything. But those people who put them into action, they get the result. So the point here is, knowing is knowing. Knowing is not doing. What is more important is you have to put them into practice and get the results. Okay, so it is not mere listening to what we have discussed here, but putting them into practice is very, very important to get into the civil services. So here, our team of the faculty members and the organization is putting things into the action. They are concerned to see that you are going to get a very good life apart from getting into the jobs. So friends, forget the world for 3 years, and the world would remember you for 30 and more years. If you want to remember the world now, the world will forget you within 3 seconds. This is a very, very precious time. Precious time, 21 to 25. It is the time where you can make or break your careers. Even if you exceed 25, before 30, you must take a very stern, very firm decision to enter into civil services. That's very, very crucial. So friends, thank you very much for your rapt attention. Few people, they come, they go, but large number of people, you stay here. I congratulate you all because you are very much concerned about your future. And whatever we have discussed here is with a lot of my experience. This is not the stuff you get outside. This is what I learned through my life, with my mentors, with my great gurus, which I shared with my experiences. Think about them, take a great decision, and I wish you all the best in your career. Thank you very much.